TomoNews presents weird creatures around the world. What the hell is that? Finally, summer is back. Time to go to the beach, sunbathe, and just relax. Well, not for these Chinese beachgoers. While strolling by the sea, they stumbled upon a disgusting, unidentified object floating along the shore. At first, they were creeped out and didn't want to approach the spongy-looking thing, but a man picked it up, and that's where things became even weirder. The humanoid creature, which seems to possess a head and limbs, started moving the likeness of its feet. If the beachgoers seemed amused by their discovery, the footage soon gained popularity online. Internet users started speculating about the monstrous find's true nature. Some viewers suggested it could be some kind of mutated sea sponge or a new species of starfish. Most people remained skeptical though, mostly noting a similarity with the gingerbread man. According to the YouTube channel that first published the footage, zoologist Carl Schuker asserted it was likely a massive sponge. So, what do you think? Hoax or true story?
Weird worm shoots white goo all over human hand.
Neng กูถ่ายนี่ไว้ฮะแม่งอย่างเอ้ยช่วยกูด้วยนุ้ย
Ancient worm monster found in the Philippines. Scientists have known about the giant shipworm for centuries, but none have seen a living, breathing specimen until now. Giant shipworms aren't actually worms, but bivalves, like clams and mussels. They live in 3-foot-long tubular shells, planted in muddy, shallow bays. This unicorn of the mollusk world was recently discovered hanging out in the southern part of the Philippines. A local TV segment about the creatures tipped off a team from Northeastern University. They went to a lagoon in Mindanao's Sultan Kundara province and managed to collect 5 live worms. Back in the lab, researchers cut off one end of the shell and took out the slimy, black, baseball-sized mass of flesh. Unlike the common shipworm, which feeds on rotting wood, its giant cousin has bacteria in its gills that churn out nutrients from carbon dioxide. It still has digestive organs despite its unique mode of survival, but they're tiny from lack of use. It's not clear how many of the weird-looking creatures are left in the wild, so the team is keeping the exact location of the shipworm home a secret. Locals, though, have been harvesting the giant worms for years, eating it as an aphrodisiac, medicine, and just a tasty side dish.
Abominable snowman sighting in Spain caught on camera. That's right, folks. The proof the world has been waiting for has finally been uploaded. A sasquatch, or Yeti, or abominable snowman, or just plain old Bigfoot, whatever you want to call him, has been spotted, supposedly. The footage is shaky and short-lived. Yes, that's all there is. 3 seconds. You've seen it in full twice now. But that's more than enough to get cryptozoologists, people who track and study the existence of hidden animals, into a frenzy. Look at him turn his head. You can't fake that. How dare anyone question its authenticity? The images were captured at a ski resort in the Pyrenees Mountains of northeastern Spain on January 29th. They were posted by a user named Kangaroo with the caption, "Strange animal spotted in Formigal. What the hell is this? A bear or a bloody Yeti?" The skier reported the sighting to the resort, which then led to an investigation. A spokesman for the resort stated that after combing the area, they found nothing and believe there's no cause for alarm. But they'll remain on alert just in case. So, what do you make of this? New evidence or another hoax? Let us know in the comments.
Police ask public not to shoot after recent Bigfoot sighting. An alleged Bigfoot sighting in McDowell County, North Carolina this past week has captured the imaginations of cryptozoologists and naysayers across the country. It's also motivated police to warn citizens not to shoot at any suspected creatures, in the event it's not what they think it is. On August 4th, a team of amateur investigators known as Bigfoot 911 were on the lookout when one of the members caught sight of a large bipedal animal covered in hair. John Brunner claims the being took off into the dark forest, so he quickly gave chase and managed to catch sight of him again near a broken tree. Brunner says for a second, the two were locked in a stare down, recalling its face was solid black with no hair on it. The hair looked shaggy all over. The legendary beast then disappeared into the forest once more, but Brunner will never forget the sight of seeing its buttocks flexing with each step as it dashed. Unfortunately, Brunner did not manage to get a photograph of his rarest of rare encounters because he and his colleagues didn't have their cameras at that particular moment. Unbelievable! Nevertheless, police in nearby Greenville, South Carolina are reminding locals that, as bulletproof evidence of the tall, hairy creature has yet to surface, firing weapons at any suspects may end up wounding a fun-loving and well-intentioned person sweating in a gorilla costume. Meanwhile, 36-year-old Gowan McGregor of Minnesota has since claimed he was the one the Bigfoot hunters bumped into that night. McGregor says he was in the woods, dressed in a coat made of raccoon pelts, performing a shamanistic ritual in the hopes of reuniting with the creature, whom he's already spotted before, apparently. There sure are some interesting folks in the Bigfoot community.
Scientists crack the Yeti riddle. Wicked Science coming out of Buffalo, New York says the abominable snowman isn't much of a man at all. Scientists used their mad skills to analyze 9 so-called Yeti samples from several museum and private collections. Turns out those Yeti samples were just bears and a dog. That's 1 Asian black bear, 1 Himalayan brown bear, 6 Tibetan brown bears, and some cooch's tooth. Previous research looking at suspected Yeti hair samples found they came from ancient polar bears, dogs, and other bears. Will this news stop cryptozoologists from seeking out mythical mountain creatures? Probably not.
A newborn pig with human head was found in Laos. A pig with a human head, a human with a pig head, a pig with a human head, a human with a pig head. What on earth is it? A pig or a human being? It's all quite confusing. The footage was shot recently in Laos. The uploader said the newborn pig both looks and acts like a human being. The villagers where it was born take care of it as if it was a child. How could such a thing happen? The puzzle remains unsolved. The internet has suggested a DNA test to be performed to find out exactly what this strange-looking creature is.
Researchers find strange animal tracks in the bottom of LakeMasa. The clearest lake in the world is LakeMasa, located in the northeastern part of Hokkaido, Japan. Known to the native people, the Ainu, as Kamuto, or the Lake of the Gods, it's a caldera lake formed in the crater of a dormant volcano approximately 11,000 years ago. LakeMasa is notable for having the clearest water in the world, which made it easy for a team of researchers to check out the bottom of the lake. The research team from Japan's National Institute of Environmental Studies discovered strange animal tracks in the bottom of the lake. The trail resembles marks left by a tank. Or perhaps a crayfish? Since the 1970s, there have been reports of giant crayfish living in LakeMasa. Some claim sightings of crayfish far exceeding the size of any known to be in Japan. The researchers said if these tracks are indeed left by a crayfish, it would be a crayfish twice the size of any in the world. So, have researchers discovered Japan's lake monster?
Did man once share the world with giant unicorns? An ancient relative of the rhinoceros, described as a Siberian unicorn, may have walked the earth alongside humans. The giant horned beasts were thought to have become extinct 350,000 years ago, but scientists now say the discovery of a fossilized skull shows Elasmotherem siberiacum only died out 29,000 years ago. A study published in the American Journal of Applied Sciences claims the Siberian unicorn may have lived at the same time as humans. The discovery of a skull in Kazakhstan suggests the creatures died out 29,000 years ago, more than 300,000 years later than previously thought. Researchers found fragments of the giant skull in the Pavlovdar region of northeast Kazakhstan. Fossils suggest the Siberian unicorn stood 2 meters tall, 4.5 meters long, and weighed 4 tons, making it bigger than today's rhinos. Scientists believe the Siberian unicorns were herbivores, and their habitat extended from western Russia to eastern Kazakhstan. One theory is that the south of western Siberia was a refuge for the beasts, which allowed them to survive much longer than similar creatures. Researchers are yet to discover any fossilized horns from the creatures. However, skull fragments show a bony lump that is thought to have supported a keratin horn like those of rhinos today.